So my friend makes sourdough loaves and gave me some of her starter. So I'm gonna learn how to feed a starter, make sourdough loaves, all the things. So stick with me on this journey and I'm gonna make a loaf. So first things first, we have to go to the store and pick up all the ingredients for this. I just went to the gym, ignore the disheveled, sweaty look I got going on here, but here we go. I'm really excited. The only things I'm aware of needing are distilled water, bread flour, and a little bit of yeast, not for this recipe, for the discard that I'm gonna eventually use. I'm just gonna buy yeast. And then I wanna get like a little scale that I can measure everything on, like a cheap one. Okay, for flour, I was told to get this King Arthur bread flour. It's $5.99, it's not bad. Okay, and then I was told to get instant yeast. This is instant yeast, but it's like a 3-pack. I don't know, am I supposed to get the 3-pack out or take the whole box? You also need a thing of distilled water because you can't have any chlorine. So I just got back from the store. I'm gonna take my starter from my jar and leave it out on the counter to get room temperature. However long that takes, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, I'm not sure. We're just gonna put it on the counter for now. Okay, now I got a bigger jar that I can put this in. So I'm just gonna put all of my starter in the bigger jar to start with. And everyone says you want like a pancake-like consistency, but you want to have equal parts, or maybe not equal. See, this is the problem. I've seen mixed reviews. People are like equal parts, like 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, and then some say 2-to-1-to-1. And I'm just gonna add stuff as needed to make it be the whole pancake-like consistency. I would measure it out exactly, but I don't have a kitchen scale. I thought about getting one today, but they were 20 bucks at the store and I could just buy them for 10 on Amazon, so, you know. Okay, so there's the starter. And now I'm gonna take like a little bit of the bread flour, pop it in there. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of water. Mix it up and see what I need to add. And you wanna get all the chunks of the flour so there's no like dry flour. You wanna have it all be mixed together. It's kind of a deep jar, so it's hard because I don't have the right utensils to go all the way down to the bottom. Is this pancake-like consistency? I don't know. Did I get it right on the first try? Well, there's a chunk there, but I think does it need to be a little bit, I don't make pancakes. How am I supposed to know what pancake-like consistency means? Like, I don't eat that. Not that I don't like them, I just never cook them. Yep, I think I added too much water. Oh, my hand is cramping. These are not really routines that I do. Oh, wait, actually, is this pancake consistency? I feel like it is. I need to Google it really quick. I feel like I made it a little bit too runny, so I'm literally just gonna add like a splash of flour so I don't overdo it. I plan on feeding this every day so I get more and more discard and then more dough so that I can make a bunch of loaves. If it's not perfect, it's my first loaf. I'll get better. And you wanna put a rubber band around the bottom so that you know exactly where it is and you can see when it's doubled, because you wanna let the starter double. So that looks about right. So I'm gonna leave this on the counter until it doubles. I forgot to take a video, but I did in fact mess up. My jar was a little bit too liquidy and it didn't rise at all. So I added some more flour, added some more water. I was like, maybe my ratios are wrong. After adding more flour, because I realized that the liquid was too much, it was too liquidy, I added more flour. It rose a little bit. It didn't double like it's supposed to, but it rose a teeny bit. So I think I just need to be making it thicker with the flour. So I'm just gonna start with a spoon of flour, maybe 2 spoonfuls. And I'm gonna mix it and I'm gonna see what happens. I have to learn the exact measurements of this because obviously this guessing game is not working. I wanna measure it out. I wanna know the exact size, the ratio, but everyone on social media says different things. So I'm not really sure which ratio I'm supposed to follow. But see, now this almost feels too thick. That's not pancake consistency, but if I do it with too much water, then it's too liquidy. This is like an experiment, I'm learning. So I might just leave it like this. I think every day I'm gonna try a new texture. I don't really know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me start this with, I have no idea what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna cover it back up with my little live starter label that I made and put a rubber band back on the top to keep it sealed. And I'm gonna put a rubber band along the bottom to show where the line is so I know when it's doubled. It's currently 9 a.m. I just got home from night shift. So now I'm gonna leave this on the counter all day and see what happens. My friend told me to leave it on the counter for 24 hours, but I kind of want to see if it doubles by the time I wake up for my shift later. Who knows what time that'll be, depending on if I can sleep or not. So I just woke up, wanted to check my starter. It's doubled. And I think it's gonna go even more because it hasn't even been that many hours because I didn't really sleep much, unfortunately. I think I'm finally doing it right. Oh, I'm so excited. So in the morning when I come home, I'm gonna discard half and feed it again. It is 8:30 in the morning. I just got home from work and look, it doubled. My live starter doubled. Miss Jane. Jane is doing so well. So this morning, I'm gonna discard half and feed it. Look how bubbly. So I am discarding half. The problem is these jars are so big that it's hard to tell what half is. Now it's time to feed it. And remember, only a small splash of water. Now I'm not gonna be adding flour and mixing and seeing how it goes. So now I've marked the bottom with a rubber band to show where the new level is at, put a new paper towel on top, and I'm putting it in my pantry. They said to keep it in a dark place, so pantry it is. I'm gonna go to sleep and see what it looks like when I wake up. Hopefully it doubled, hopefully I did it right. Now I just woke up, ignore this going on here. But it hasn't necessarily, is that double? I don't know if that's double per se. I mean, there's not that much in there to begin with. So today is the day. I fed my starter this morning and now we're gonna measure out the ingredients to start prepping for my first loaf. So the recipe that I found, I don't know if it's the right recipe, but we're gonna find out. It says 100 grams of sourdough starter. So I'm gonna measure it out. So sticky. Ooh, 95, okay.
How would you describe the consistency of it right now?
Well, everyone told me it was supposed to be pancake-like consistency, but I feel like, have you ever made pancakes? I've never made pancakes.
Yes.
Is it, this isn't a pancake.
It's a little too viscous.
It's a little too...
That I would say is toothpaste consistency.
It's a little too viscous.
Toothpaste consistency. So I would probably need to add more water, but it is what it is. This is 103 grams.
What do you got?
I'm gonna take a little tad off. 101.8, I'm going with it.
I think you can eyeball it too.
Okay. Now I want to do 200 grams of water. And you want distilled water.
Honestly, you could do everything, but you love that.
That's only 100. 180. I went a little overboard. 226.
Yeah,
Wait.
she does. She's very much like every time she's doing something.
204, I'm gonna just go with it. Okay, and then we want 300 grams of bread flour. I have the King Arthur's bread flour that everyone says I should get. So my plan is to make all of this tonight and then put it in the fridge overnight and bake the actual bread tomorrow. 299.6, perfect. I need 6 grams of salt. Oh wait, that's gonna take forever. That's a lot of salt, man.
Is it?
I didn't say bread was healthy.
Now I have all my ingredients. I'm gonna pour them all into a bowl
Tell me you didn't know her.
and mix. Flour,
I can show you. What are you making? What is the sauce?
salt, and water. I'm just gonna mix with my hands because I don't know how to whisk. So now we're gonna perform some stretch and folds, which I'm not really sure because it's so sticky what to do there. So they said, I don't understand what, like, how you get it to not do
You
that.
need to wash your
Put
hands.
in flour
You need to
over it, so
wash
it's
your
not so
hands and then
sticky.
put flour on your hands.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
That's already better. Yeah, look at that. Okay.
See?
So it said to pick up one end and stretch it and fold.
Perfect.
And then stretch it. Okay, that's as far as I went. And fold. I'm gonna stretch. Oh. Stretch and fold. Stretch and fold. Brother. A little bit of oil in here and just coating the bowl with a paper towel. Just you want the bowl to be a little slick so your bread doesn't stick. I'm gonna take Miss Jane Doe and stick her in the bowl. You want to cover it with plastic wrap and let it sit for an hour. Okay, I've let my dough sit for an hour. Wow, it's actually not sticky like it was before. So now it says to do coil folds. So you're gonna like pick it up and like let it fall, I think. Right? I don't know what coil folds are. I think it's where you pick it up and you like let it go in half. But it's not really going in half. I'm gonna cover this for 30 minutes and repeat. Okay, so it rested for 30 minutes and now I'm going to do more folds. Ooh, it's stickier this time. Okay, so you're gonna literally lift it up and fold it. Turn the bowl. You want to lift it up without tearing it, so it's going to be pretty sticky. Ooh, I like this consistency a lot better. I think it's because there's less flour on it now. Yeah, you literally just lift it without tearing. Okay, well, it's hard to tell. Maybe you're not getting the full exposure that I'm trying to show. But it's definitely sticky and it's definitely how I want it to be. I think it's going to be okay. I think she's okay. I'm trying to make it fall, but I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm gonna leave it in the bowl, and then in 30 minutes, I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so I just let it sit for another 30 minutes. Now I'm gonna do another coil fold. So I'm lifting it up and flipping it. And I'm gonna keep doing that all the way around. And then once I finish this, I'm gonna let it sit for another hour. So now I've let the dough sit for an hour. And it's time to shape it before leaving it in the fridge overnight. Go. So you're gonna place it on some lightly floured surface and you wanna press it out to be one flat rectangle. So we had already cleaned up the entire kitchen before doing this. I completely forgot that I had to shape it before throwing it in the fridge. I'm gonna be using a tin for this and not a Dutch oven, so it's more of a bread slicing pan. Not perfectly rectangular, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna take the top left corner and fold it inward. Top right corner, fold inward to meet the left. Take the middle and just roll it on top. And take each side and kind of roll the sides in, like fold the sides in on top of itself. Same with this side. And then you're gonna continue rolling the dough. So it's like this. And there's gonna be a seam on the bottom, obviously. Oh no, oh no. This is my cute little loaf. It feels really tiny. I'm hoping that means it'll grow. And then in the tin that I've lined with parchment paper, I have bleached, but every website says to use unbleached, but they didn't have it at Aldi, so I got the unbleached, or the normal bleached. Just gonna place it in the middle. This is my cute little loaf. I'm putting a cover over it and putting it in the fridge. I will be coming back to it tomorrow. It's the next morning. I am taking my loaf out of the fridge. So let's see what happened. Whoa. Okay. It's expanded a little. Or maybe it's just flattened out, I'm not really sure. I am preheating the oven to 475 if the buttons want to work. I'm struggling. So while it's preheating, I'm going to fill a little bit of pan with water, about an inch of water on the bottom. I read that I'm doing this because I'm using a tin instead of a Dutch oven. So there's not gonna be like a cover over it. So you want there to be steam in the oven. So I'm gonna put water in here and then add ice cubes right away before I close the door to provide steam so that the crust like doesn't harden too quickly on the sourdough. It allows for like an airier loaf from what I've read. So from what I understand, the rapid rise of the bread when you first put it in the oven is called oven spring, and having steam allows that to happen without it getting too crusty too quick. Not sure if I summarized that correctly, but whatever. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in here. So from what I read, you want to score the bread. I don't have the right tool, I'm gonna use a knife. You just wanna create like purposeful, shallow cuts. I'm gonna do 2. It creates, it helps to control the expansion of the bread, supposedly. I'm just gonna create 2 cuts. Don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do. I know it's definitely not the right tool, but I don't have the right tools for this. Now I'm placing the water pan on the bottom rack of the oven. It's reached 475, so I'm going to place the dough on the top shelf, and I'm going to throw some ice cubes in to create steam and close it. I just set a timer for 20 minutes and then I'm going to pull the water pan out and just leave the bread cooking. Side note, I never mentioned, I named her Jane Doe. Get it? Jane Doe. Yeah, anyway, that's my starter's name. So this is Miss Jane Doe's first baby that's gonna be born. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, so I am taking out the water pan. And the loaf is rising. The bread is definitely taller.
Look at it in there. Aww. It's so cute.
Now I just put it back in for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna check the temperature. We want it to be 190 internal, Fahrenheit, 190 Fahrenheit. But I don't know if 10 minutes is correct. The recipe said 10 to 15. It feels like not very long time for bread, maybe because it's in a tin versus a Dutch oven. I feel like the Dutch ovens take longer. I don't know. If it's not right, I'll just put it in for more minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, so I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Wow, the loaf looks beautiful, actually. Internal temperature is 198, 200, and the bread is crispy. Oh my God. Wait. Is it done? Is that it? It took 30 minutes? Here it is. The first loaf. She's so pretty. And she's crusty on both sides. I think this is gonna be the perfect loaf. If it's not, if the inside is not good, I'm about to cut into it, I might cry. Because I've been struggling all week for this. Here we go. Here is the test. I'm just gonna cut it in half. This is the only serrated knife that I have, so this is what's gonna do. It's not a bread knife, but wait for the reveal. Oh, I think it's perfect. It's a little soft. It probably could have gone a little bit longer, but it's nice and airy and fluffy. Oh my goodness, look how pretty it is. Wow, this is so cute. I love it. I cut some slices, put some blackcurrant jam on there. So good. So good. This was only loaf 1, so stick with my journey. I'm gonna make more fun and interesting loaves. So stay tuned.